Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the final event of the Smart City project, funded under the Interreg program. We will start now. My name is Héloïse Delceny, and I'm working at the French energy cluster called Cap Énergie. I will be your host today to discuss about the deployment of smart cities in the Med area, to look at future opportunities together, and funding for projects in the next few years. Thank you everyone for registering to the event. I must say I'm very happy that the topic has got your interest. The application that we are using today is called GoToMeeting, and it's quite simple to use, and we will just ask you to please turn off your camera. Please turn off your microphone, mute your microphone. I will invite the speakers to speak, to come on the stage when it will be the time. You can see the buttons of control at the bottom of your screen. You can also use the chat discussion on the top right of your screen to write down your questions. Please be very respectful. Do not interrupt speakers. We should have time at the end of this morning session or between presentations to answer all of your questions. And even if we do not have the time, because it may happen, we will come back to you by email, by phone. We will not let any questions or remarks unanswered. My colleagues Claire Peters and Nessilia Arar are in the background, in the backstage of this session to moderate the event, the chat. You can, they can help you in anything you may encounter. Please turn off your microphone. The event today is divided into 3 sessions, 2 sessions of conferences, including this morning session, and 1 matchmaking part in which you can still participate and plan one-to-one meetings, video meetings, of course. And now we shall start. And I'm happy to begin the event with my director, Mrs. Anne-Marie Perez. Please turn off. I see that your camera is on, your microphone is on, and the stage is yours.
Okay, merci Héloïse, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Anne-Marie Perez, and I am the General Manager of the French cluster Cap Énergie. On behalf of the European project Esmartcity, I'm very pleased and honored to open this final conference that we close 2 years of collaboration to support the development of smarter and more suitable cities in the European Mediterranean area. You're probably wondering what Cap Énergie is. Cap Énergie is a cluster active in the energy transition in the southern region of France, and we are based in Aix-en-Provence. Cap Énergie team supports its 530 members, from startups to larger companies, R&D labs, and local authorities in the field of low carbon energy. Our mission is to facilitate the emergence of innovative projects, their development, and their financing. We decided to join the Esmartcity project consortium 30 months ago. We really appreciated and enjoyed working with our partners from Greece, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Bosnia, and France to build the project first, and then to deliver demonstrators, solutions, and proposals for smart cities, especially on the smart public lighting and building aspects. Why did we choose to focus especially on these 2 topics? Because public lighting and buildings are essential steps towards smart cities and smart territories. They offer services to all citizens, and they are the visible mirror of the city's commitments to its suitable development policy. Buildings represent 40% of Europe's energy consumption, while public lighting represents 40% of municipalities' allocated budget. That means important opportunities of energy cost and saving. On another note, as everyone here, I sincerely would have preferred to welcome you in the very nice city of Aix-en-Provence, in Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur region in France, during the summer season. But unfortunately for all of us, circumstances decided otherwise. In this very special context, I really want to emphasize the very good and reactive job done by the project teams to elaborate tangible recommendations aiming to contribute to a successful recovery plan, to facilitate innovative and green procurement, to support the excellence of European companies and the Green Deal ambitions. I hope you'll find in the coming presentations interesting ideas to inspire your actions and projects. Take the time to exchange and meet with your peers and new potential partners. I would like to congratulate all teams for the high quality of their cooperation and work during this project. I have a very special thought this morning for the team that has been working for weeks to bring us together today and that has been able to adapt to the special circumstances. Héloïse Delseny and Claire Peters from Cap Energy are going to moderate this session, and I really want to thank them very, very warmly. I wish you a very fruitful morning session, and I let the stage to Miss Iris Flacco, Manager of the Department of Energy Policy and Environmental Resources at Abruzzo region in Italy, and lead partner of the Esmartcity project. Thank you.
Mrs. Iris Flacco, please turn on your camera, please turn on your microphone, and the stage is yours. Iris Flacco, I saw you in the participant list, but we cannot hear you right now.
Yes, I am sorry. I have the problem with the PC, the computer. Now it's okay. Everything is okay.
Thank you.
Good morning and welcome to the final conference of Esmartcity project. Please let me thank all project partners for the great job carried out in the framework of the project with the common purpose to share experience, raising the path to smart city idea and contributing to the great green transition and sustainable development challenge with the essential involvement of stakeholders, university and citizens. As some of you already knew, the ongoing regional strategy is also developed towards the best available techniques, easy to be applied and economically sustainable. The new and innovative strategy must be shared, developed and monitored through the EU project and allow different member states and organizations to work together at the same topic and effectively launch and implement the foreseen activity. Moreover, the state of global emergency due to COVID takes us the further reflection. The newly allocated funds for the start following the lockdown for COVID has to suit the criteria and guideline of sustainable development, the circular economy and climate change to set up a possibly lasting development strategy. Therefore, the 2030 and 2050 planning has to maintain it in all Europe reduction of energy cost, energy self-supply, and sustainable development. This will allow economic security and stable economic recovery. Therefore, we should learn from Esmartcity outcomes and use this experience of the next challenges. Now, architect Laura Antosa, that works strongly in the project, give you one information of the Smart City project, and the engineer Sandra Santini, in one word, explain our topic in Pescara. Let me thank Gino Verrocchi that strongly worked for Regione Abruzzo and for all partners for the development of this project. Again, thank you for joining this event today.
Thank you, Iris. Thank you, Eloise. Good morning at all. My name is Laura Antosa, and I work in Abruzzo region in the office directed by Iris Flacco. And I want to speak to you about the Esmartcity project, about the duration of this project and the budget. The Esmartcity project funded by the Interreg Med is the challenge about a smart city when investments in human and social capital and traditional and modern communication infrastructure for sustainable economic growth and a high quality of life with the wise management of natural resources through participatory government. The main object of the project is to improve the innovation ability of the Mediterranean city through the creation of the innovation ecosystem involving cities and business, research and university, and the public authorities. The application of the smart city concept, which transformed digital technology into better public services for citizens, better use of resources, and less environmental impact. I hope that Eloise show the PowerPoint that we sent yesterday, if possible. Okay. Okay, thank you, Eloise. The partnership of the project is composed about 4 territorial authorities, Abruzzo region as lead partner, Western Greece region, Metropolitan City of Milan, and the City Development Agency Sarajevo, and 3 research institute university, the Politecnico di Milano, Athena Research and Innovation Center in Salayon, and 3 energy agency as Cap Energy, of course, and Energy and Environment of Arabida of Granada. To achieve this object, the project involves also the execution of pilot intervention using ICT technology infrastructure to provide specific application and service to the citizen of the area on the energy efficiency and intelligent public lighting. And the 2 types of pilot project among smart city activity, and 9 pilot project has been implemented in the project partners area, focused on the 2 different themes, efficiency building and smart public lighting. And the pilot with reference to energy efficiency building include the following regions and locality: Western Greece, Lisbon and Lombardy, and with smart public lighting, Italy, Abruzzo region, Salayon, and Andalusia and Bosnia and Herzegovina. My colleague, engineer Sandra Santini, show you the pilot project in Pescara. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining this interesting event. My name is Alessandra Santini, and I work for Regione Abruzzo. Here in Pescara, we work on public lighting, aiming at reducing energy consumption and monitoring environmental factors, wind, air, fine dust, and smog level. 25 poles have been installed in the promenade close to the seafront, where other urban works have been recently done. These poles are equipped by remote control unit, which allow the management of the lamp and the connection to the other light point, and the control data system, which allow also the data collection. Moreover, one weather station measures weather parameters, but also solar and ultraviolet radiation, and the traffic analysis device for adaptive lighting management. Are also present surveillance camera operating with the PLT devices to complete and integrate this whole system. Another important issue of the project are the capacity building events to disseminate the project and share knowledge among international, national, regional and public authorities, business, small medium enterprise, and of course general public. As to Regione Abruzzo, we organize and joined several events, such as we joined the Assembly of European E-Region last September, that was joined by the EU policymakers from all over the Europe. Then another event was in Turin, the Urban Promo, which focuses on accessible city to everyone. Another event was the COP25 in Madrid that all of you already know. And another very interesting event was in Pescara in December 2019, organized by the Abruzzo Federation of Small Medium Enterprise. Here we had the opportunity to dialogue with the enterprises and students on already existing shining example of that, especially in the transport system in the city. And the last event was in last June, the 11th, that was focused on green public procurement. And so we had the chance with these events to take contact with all the different stakeholders and create a dialogue on the smart city in order to create a stable framework to continue working on this field, using the experiences that we learn from a smart city. So on behalf of Regione Abruzzo, we would like to thank you for this opportunity to work in the Smart City project. It was very useful. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now look at a small video presenting the project and the teams of partners having contributed to it. Let me just start the video.
It's 7 a.m. Eva leaves for work. The smart public lighting detects her presence. It automatically lights up so that Eva can get to her electric car. The street light is powered by a solar panel. Eva's smart carpooling app alerts her that she can pick up other passengers for their journey. GPS relay terminals and intelligent traffic monitoring devices analyze and smooth traffic flow in real time. Her smartphone shows her the best itinerary and finds her a parking space with a charging station near her office. Alex arrives by bike. He appreciates his comfortable office environment. The connected building is equipped with humidity, temperature, and brightness sensors that automatically adjust the equipment in the office for the user's well-being. The continuous monitoring of consumption, adapted to the exact needs, avoids waste of energy so that the building only consumes the energy required. Susan is in charge of the operational monitoring of the smart building. Thanks to the artificial intelligence which analyzes the energy networks, Susan is alerted in real time of any anomalies. She can ensure preventive maintenance and address any problems that could harm users. In addition, since all equipment is connected and interconnected by means of the smart grid, the energy optimization system also provides flexibility services to the power grids or neighboring buildings. So when Eva's car is sufficiently charged, it supplies energy to the building. Smart technology allows Eva, Alex, and Susan to live in a more energy-efficient environment. They are engaged citizens, They are smart citizens. For its users, the local authority has chosen to integrate green and smart public lighting and buildings into its funding scheme and local action plan. EU criteria for green public procurement, including the carbon footprint of equipment, public procurement of innovative solutions to boost the attractiveness of the region and business competitiveness. The European Smart City project, funded by the Interreg Med program, has allowed testing of new technologies to increase the energy efficiency of public buildings and lighting on 9 partner pilot sites in the Mediterranean. Smart lighting has generated 60% energy savings. Renovating lighting also provides greater security, reduces light pollution, and enhances architectural heritage at a lower cost. Optimized smart public buildings have demonstrated better energy management and improved daily comfort, all for a return on investment of less than 4 years.
Okay, now that you have all the necessary introduction information, we will see more precisely the results of the local pilot experimentations developed during the Smart City project. And I will give the floor to Mrs. Adriana Wack from the City Development Agency of East Sarajevo in Bosnia-Herzegovina to present the results of the pilot sites with a focus on smart public lighting technologies. Adriana, please turn on your camera, please turn on your microphone, and the stage is yours.
Thank you, Elise, for this introduction, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a real pleasure and honor for me to have this opportunity today to present you the Smarter Public Lighting in Esmartcity project. In our project Esmartcity, we have implemented 4 pilot deployments regarding the smart public lighting. First is the pilot deployment in Pescara, Italy, regarding the public streets. Second, in Lyon, France, in the university campus. Then we have 2 pilot deployments in Spain regarding sports centers and public streets, and 1 pilot deployment in East Ilija, Bosnia and Herzegovina. What is important to say is that all the pilot activities carried out aimed to test smart city concept in partner areas, increasing the level of innovation by enriching city infrastructures via smart devices, embedded systems and sensors, and also by enhancing innovation potential of SMEs, allowing them to utilize smart city infrastructure as test bed for innovative application and services. The projects that we have implemented intended to decrease the overall energy consumption, while in the same time maintain and optimize the user required level of comfort. The achievement of this goal has been carried out from different approaches, taking into account, of course, the specificity and needs of each territory, the great heterogeneity of the pilots, and the existence or not of previous experience in smart city solutions. And we have already heard about pilot deployment implemented in Pescara, Italy. I will just add a few words regarding the variables that were measured. 2 kinds of these variables were measured, like variables about lighting system, for example, energy parameters, voltage and power consumption. And second one, variables about smart system. For example, traffic analysis parameters, vehicle speed, counting, and type. And also environmental parameters, temperature, humidity, wind speed, wind direction, and etc. Our second pilot deployment is in Lyon, France. In this pilot is focused in gathering data about the use of streets through motion and environment sensors for a better comprehension of how smart lighting can reduce with the most effectiveness the energy consumption of public street lamps. In this pilot, actually, there is no control of lighting system. These devices can only monitor the environment to help and decide the relevance of installing a smart lighting system. So variables measured in this case are presence, luminosity, sound level, temperature, humidity, air pressure, and objective is actually to correlate them to the street usage. In Spain, we have two pilot deployments, and first is in municipality Hoito Tahar, where municipal sports ground lighting has been changed with energy efficiency and managed through a remote management software. In this pilot, variables measured are particles matters, temperature and relative humidity, air quality, and also count of the number of people going into and out of the sports facilities and occupancy. More precisely, we have also implemented pilot deployment in other municipalities in Spain, in Aragon. And in this pilot, part of the existing public lighting in the church area and on the main streets were changed with energy efficiency and night sky protection criteria and managed through a remote management software. Also, like in the previous pilot, variables measured are environmental, temperature, and relative humidity. And last but not least, pilot deployment implemented in the municipality of Pistilija in Bosnia and Herzegovina. In this pilot, the existing system is enhanced with intelligent light controllers that enable intelligent control of the lamps, remote monitoring, and control. Also, variables measured are including energy consumption and estimates energy savings, calculates the estimation of number of kilograms of CO2 saved as an equivalent of the saved energy, and also measurement of air quality is possible by air quality sensor. All these pilot solutions adapted actually could be a reference for other municipalities interested in this type of smart solution or trigger for a more ambitious strategy with more system installed. Of course, costs of pilot deployment are a very important aspect. So in this pilot lighting projects developed, all costs can be classified according to the two dimensions, technological dimension and related to equipment installation, and the second one related to development of new management methodologies. So as you can see, the total economic benefits of implementing smart street lighting pilots are around 4,000 euros. And despite the high development costs of pilots projects, due of course to its small scale and the methodological approaches developed, the global payback time is 15 years and amortizes the investment made. Regarding technical approach that we used, what we can say is that all the pilots developed are based on scalable systems, and it means that the systems installed are really able to support relevant variations in data flow in 70% of the cases. System also allow new devices for its relocation. Systems are based on open communication protocols. 100% of them deliver all the information needed for new devices implementation, and only 20% depend 100% on the communication network for its proper functioning. Data is stored in local servers for 60% of the pilots and 40% on the web. Despite this, 19% allows the full control of the system from the BEV. What we can say is that these pilots in total cover an elimination area of 16,000 meters square and includes 81 streetlight points. The reduction of power installed due to the conversion to the LED bulbs is 10 kilowatt. At adding the light control, we obtain savings of 60% of energy consumed. Also, I would like to mention that we have used two control strategies in the street lighting systems. For example, on the one hand, we used the reduction steps in the light flux according to operating hours. And on the other hand, the control of the lighting level according to the presence sensor is used. So now we can come to the next point, which is the impacts of pilot activities on the involved sites. And there are several impacts of pilot activities, and among them most important are first electricity savings achievements are evident. Then it is possible to ensure the good quality of the public lighting, reducing the average amount of light, controlling the amount of light available according to the real needs, and parameters related to smart light solutions such as the light pollution control, sleep quality, or level illumination are well considered by citizens. And finally, citizens have a good perception related to the investment on smart city solutions, and they are conscious about the social benefits related. And to sum up, some main conclusions obtained from the assessment of the Esmartcity pilot developed are: first, the smart city concept transforms digital technologies into better public services for citizens, better use of resources, and less environmental impact by managing more efficient systems integrated in smart mode. Of course, if smart cities want to solve city challenges, their best first step is to involve all stakeholders in the community, to explore the complexity of the issues they face, and also to involve them in collaborative decision-making and future planning of their city. And with an appropriate transferring strategy, the smart solutions installed could become the proof of concept and the showroom for future projects of smart street lighting in the different territories. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Adriana. I think it was very clear. I invite right away Mr. Professor Luca Ferrarini, who is director of the DESI Lab in the Politecnico from Milan, Italy. Yeah, I see that you are connected. I'll let you the stage.
Okay, thank you very much, Eloise. Okay. So I'm going to complement the Adriana talk with a description, brief description and results of the local pilots we made on to make it more efficient public buildings. So as it has been said before, the smart city paradigm is largely technology pushed. And we have some mature technologies that we could exploit, like embedded device, which means ubiquitous computing and ubiquitous networking with our smartphones and the Internet of Things. But as a Smart City project, as we have seen also in the public lighting pilots, we didn't choose to adopt a specific technology, but we wanted to experiment many different technologies in order to provide a service to the local needs. Okay, so the pilot demonstration has been set up in three main areas: one in Milan, one in Western Greece, and one in Portugal, South Portugal. And this involves actually more than one pilot. We have two pilot sites in Milan, one in Politecnico we monitored and controlled a big room building in our university. Then we have the metropolitan city headquarters plus high schools. And in Western Greece, we had again 3 pilot sites, 2 cities for regional buildings of region of Western Greece, and 1 research labs and offices at ISI premises, and 3 cities in South Portugal with involvement of various regional buildings. Next slide, please. Okay, let's have a look to the main description of the pilot. So the first one is for the metropolitan city of Milan. In this case, they wanted to experiment really new technologies. As we can see here, they adopted optical fibers in order to adapt, in order to not only communicate, transmit data, but also to sense physical quantities. Actually, they use optical fiber in order to measure temperature, humidity, light, and vibrations and movement of the building for building stability. And also they wanted to adopt new air purification devices in order to improve the quality of indoor work. And as we can see in the next slide, a huge number of sensors and devices have been implemented. So for energy monitor, there are more or less classic single phase and 3-phase energy monitoring. For the building monitoring through the optical fibers, as you can see, we used optical fiber to measure deformation, deformation of the walls, external temperature, inclination of the walls, and humidity and other temperature sensor in many halls. So in classrooms and in the president's rooms and so on. And then in a school, we implemented a couple of air purification systems in order to improve the quality of the air. Okay, so in Portugal, the pilot was actually distributed over 3 cities, Palmela, Setúbal, and Sesimbra, and with a huge number of buildings involved of different types, town hall, cultural hall, theaters, and so on. And here an online monitoring platform has been installed in order to sense, monitor, and collect the data related to different kind of buildings. As we can see in the next slide, the type of buildings are totally different. So we have the public markets, city halls, normal office buildings, cinemas, theaters, school and public sports hall, and a swimming pool. So in the end, in the same IT platform, all these data are stored and used to compare also with 5 other buildings that are already monitored. So in the next pilot, we have a similar situation. We are in Western Greece, in buildings of the region. Again, 2 different cities, Messolongi and Pyrgos. And again, we installed energy meters and also temperature meters, indoor and outdoor, in order to be able to make a correlation between energy consumption and temperature, which is mainly the main reason for consumption. And as we can see in the next slide, 14 buildings in total have been monitored. We installed 28 smart energy meters. So we implemented a networking infrastructure based on Zigbee in order to monitor and collect the data related to active power, reactive power, voltage, current, frequency, and of course energy consumption, and to correlate this with external information like temperature and humidity. In the next pilot, again in Greece, we are in Patras Science Park, where there are the premises of ISI, one of our partners. And in this case, again, a different perspective. So they wanted to test a lot of different technologies that are available on the market. Technology meaning different type of devices, so different brands, different producers, but also different types of communication channels and methods and protocols, but also computational devices, so edge computing, cloud computing, and reaching also the development of suitable algorithms to treat and data. So as we can see, the next slide, the total pilot occupied around 300 square meters of research facilities. We installed around 100 devices and two different servers and 3 gateways. And again, we grouped the monitor quantities in power consumption, lighted, humidity, and human presence. And then we developed an algorithm based on artificial intelligence to try to correlate these quantities and understand better how to improve energy management for these buildings. And finally, the last pilot that we developed in Politecnico di Milano is one building where there are 4 floors and 14 rooms, where we installed a brand new IoT sensor network to monitor a lot of quantities in order to improve the quality of the air inside and reduce the consumption. As you can see in the next slide, the total area of the building is around 2,500 square meters. The building is huge because we have 14 rooms distributed over 4 floors, and consequently the HVAC system is complicated. We have 2 different heat pumps, one water to water, one air to water, 2 different air handling units with the heat recovery, PV solar panels, and an energy storage tank, fan coils in the rooms, plus some radiators, plus air recycling fans. And consequently, the IoT that we installed was also complex. We implemented a thread-based mesh sensor network. The sensor is actually a multi-sensor that we can see in the picture, which is able to capture at the same time humidity, temperature, CO2, and people presence. And there is also a mini thermal camera for people counting. What for? As everybody, in every other pilot, we collect the data in order to provide information to the energy manager. And in particular, in this pilot, what we did was also to build a model, a mathematical model, so identify a model out of data. So we use the data in order to understand the dynamics of the building, which means the envelope, but also of the generation devices. So we modeled the COP of the heat pumps, so the coefficient of performance. And then on simulation, we developed a new control algorithm in order to improve performance and reduce consumption. So just working on the soft side of the story, so just manipulating data, we managed to save around 15% of total energy consumption. So finally, what can we conclude out of this effort? So the effort was not so small. We monitored lots of different buildings, including schools, offices, libraries, sport facilities, swimming pools, and other types of buildings. the pre-COVID data of users was around 3,000 of personal permanent users. Now with the smart working, they are a little bit less. And 271 physical quantities have been monitored. And we tested a lot of technologies. So this is recorded and documented for everybody who wants to understand which are the pros and cons of every technology. And what else can we claim? In the next slide, we see that okay, we have marvelous results. We managed to use up-to-date technology off the shelf. We can develop everything without too big effort, and we managed to improve quality, and then the same quality of life and air and energy consumption with the reduced costs. But for sure, there are still open challenges. There are technical challenges that we should face, let me say, in every pilot. So the communication is there, communication facilities are there, but still it's not always easy to install these new devices in very old buildings. There are a lot of different types of applications, so every building is different from another one, and there is an integration needed to cooperate with existing technology. The second bullet, which is extremely important, is the involvement challenges. So even if we were able to install and put into place a lot of technologies and experiments, we have registered a lack of engagement in general, which basically means that, okay, public administration says it's a good thing, but still is another job that we have to put on our table. So it seems another difficulty. Citizens seems to claim that okay, that's nice to live in a better environment, but still it's not easy to devote the time and effort to employ it. Academia, again, they are interested, but they want to push the accelerator on research, so they're not so involved in, let me say, normal improvement of buildings. And SMEs, of course, they want to find new markets or new market share for their own business. So these are normal obstacles that everybody has experienced. And of course, there is more a cultural problem in the sense that the adoption of IT technologies and the usage of ICT practices is not so well spread. So we are at the edge of the digital transformation of our life, but still there is a huge amount of opportunities which are uncovered. So we have developed some solutions which are based on how to improve and enhance the innovation potential of a lot of small and medium enterprises. We developed a green paper on innovation policy change and a smart city protocol that should be adopted by public administration. And these are the topics of the next talk. So I thank you very much for your attention, and I hope you enjoyed the conference.
Thank you very much, Luca. We have now a clear overview of the project technical results. And as you said, it is important to transform them and share them into capitalized experiences. That was the consortium has done through some policy recommendations and other actions. And I invite Mr. Athanasios Kalogiras, the research director in the Research Center Athena from the Industrial System Institute of Greece to, yeah, you're here, and I give you the floor.
Thank you, Heloise. Bonjour, good morning, everybody. Luca ended up his presentation with the targets that we have to influence, including public authorities and SMEs. So I am going to present a little bit what we have done towards SMEs and enhancing their innovative potential. First, I would like to show some things about the huge opportunity that Smart City presents for SMEs. The market is projected to reach 410 billion euros in 2027, and it has a compound annual growth rate of almost 25% for the period 2020 to 2027. Which is really a huge opportunity for companies entering. The market of Smart City is largely technology pushed, as already said. So there is a push driven by technology and innovation. There are different technologies, IoT, cloud and edge computing, cyber physical systems, digital twins, big data, artificial intelligence that pushes the market. And there is, on the other hand, a less pull from the public sector. Yet the public sector can play a decisive role in enlarging the market, since it is a huge consumer of products and services. Annually, the EU public authorities spend 1.8 trillion euros, which is approximately 14% of EU GDP. So the question and the challenge is how to map these two trends, the technology push and the public sector pull to enlarge the market. If we move to the next slide, we can see the challenges that the smart cities face. First of all, there is a trend for urbanization. It is expected that by 2030, 60% of the global population will be living in cities. Actually, 1.5 million of people are moved to cities every week, so the urban population is increasing steadily, and there is a quest for environmental sustainability. It's worth mentioning that cities account for 60 to 80% of the world annual energy needs, so it is of imperative importance that technologies get into the cities to help decrease the footprint of cities and the environmental impact. The different challenges, Luca also made some reference to them. There is a diversity of applications, as smart cities can be thought of covering a wide range of different domains. So they touch healthcare, transport, water, security, energy, public administration, and democratization of involving the citizens. Then there are technological challenges, like the need for openness of data and openness of infrastructures, of standardization, the need to actually view the different application domains in a unified way, actually breaking the silos between them so as to provide applications for different domains, utilizing same infrastructure and utilizing existing data. And there are also data privacy and security challenges associated with the data aggregated from the cities. And finally, there are different investment challenges on what is the model that is most suitable for making the smart city paradigm more successful. So there are different models, like the build, operate, transfer, the build, operate, manage, the build, operate, own, which mean actually that the company builds, operates, or and then it transfers or continues managing or owning the infrastructure built. And of course, there is the paradigm of pilot projects that the public administration implements, like the ones that we did in Esmartcity project, and which act as beacons of the new technologies and the benefits that they can bring to local communities. So maybe we can move to the next slide, please. What we have done is that following our pilot testing, we enrolled into capacity building workshops towards SMEs. 10 workshops have been implemented in the 6 countries of the partners, involving 98 SMEs. The targets of the capacity buildings were to transfer knowledge and lessons learned during the pilot testing towards SMEs, to enhance their capacities to foster smarter cities, to help them answer green public procurement calls, which are a future for EU, also to discuss state-of-the-art with reference to technologies like open data, IoT, and data analytics, to help enhance the local innovation ecosystems out of them, to promote the SME innovative solutions toward public authorities, and also collect feedback from SMEs and involve them in experimentation and co-creation. So next slide, please. This is a slide showing the different capacity buildings. So you can see that we enrolled into them starting from July 2019. 2 capacity buildings were organized in Patras and East Sarajevo, Bosnia. Then in September, we have a capacity building in Patras organized by the region of Western Greece. Then in October, we had 2 capacity buildings in Granada and Setúbal, Portugal. Then in November was the French month. We had 2 capacity buildings in Aix-Marseille and Nice. Then in December, we had the capacity building held in Pescara. And finally, in Milano, 2 capacity buildings, one in February and one in May, organized by the Politecnico di Milano and the Metropolitan City of Milan. The last one is the only one influenced by the COVID situation. So you see it's an online, it's a webinar. So the next slide shows one datathon that was implemented in the framework of our project, targeting experimentation and co-creation. So it was actually an innovation contest based on open data from pilots in Greece, aiming at innovative application and services, breaking the silos between application domains. And to this end, the data sets used were the data sets out of the Esmartcity project, both in the ISI Living Lab pilot and in the pilot in the 14 buildings of the region of Western Greece participating in Esmartcity. And we also utilized data sets from 2 other initiatives, the Gaia project that provided us with the data set in 3 elementary schools, and the SenseCity initiative that provided us almost 1 year of data relevant to the city of Patras. The contest included 4 mentors, 5 sponsors, had 11 supporters, 5 judges, and there were 7 contestant companies. So the 2 first prizes, the first prize was given to the In My Place application, which is a real estate evaluation application utilizing Esmartcity energy consumption data, weather data, and SenseCity data. And the second prize was about an energy consumption prediction algorithm utilizing Esmartcity data. And there was a high impact prize towards Smart City app, an e-health application that utilized Esmartcity energy consumption, Gaia and weather data, and also patient file data for customized patient notification. So one of the targets of this datathon, this contest, was to combine data sets from different sources in order to produce application services that might be quite different to the type of data utilized. So the next slide, please, shows the network that was combined throughout the project life cycle. So the network, our network comprises, before I think I can say this final event, so this will be enlarged. It comprises 438 stakeholders. It has influenced more than 250 people from the general public. There is one upgraded energy cluster through capacity building, technology transfer, and pilot testing lessons learned. And you may see the distribution of our network between the different types of organizations. So it is to 25% in SMEs and the local public authorities. It's 12% in higher education and research. It's 8% in sectoral agencies, 7% in other enterprises except SMEs, 6% in interest groups, including NGOs, 5% in regional public authorities, 4% in business support organizations, and 2% in infrastructure public service providers, in education centers and schools, and national public authorities. And I think this is the last slide of my presentation. Thank you very much, and I will be at your disposal for any questions or clarification needed.
Thank you, Athanasios. The capitalization part of the project continues with Maria Macri, who is the manager of the Department for Technical Applications of the Directorate of Industry, Energy and Natural Resources of the Western region of Greece. Hello, Maria.
Hello, Eloise. Good morning, everybody. It's a real pleasure for me to have the opportunity to present you one of the most important outputs of our project, the Green Paper for Innovation Policy Change. So, what about the Green Paper? What is the content of the Green Paper? The content is the knowledge that is recorded and systemized on topics such as digitalization, open data, and green procurement. Then good practices that have been gained from our project and also from other places around Europe are presented in our Green Paper. Also, some proposals for policy improvement change in partner territories for in the existing policies, strategies, and structures. And finally, we have recommendations for innovation policy change that are presented there, as you can see, we will see later. The Green Paper has been translated in local languages of Esmartcity partnership for better diffusion to local authorities. So, as we see next, in this Green Paper, we have valorizing the knowledge that is gained from our pilot project and results that have been gained and employed as we heard earlier. Then we have taken into account complementary, and this is complementary to the recommendation of the Internet Green Growth Community. Of course, it is addresses to smart cities, smart public lighting, digitalization, open data, and green procurement and circular economy. And recommendations are connected and relevant to according to the Sustainable Development Goals, as we see in the photo, and also with the upcoming 21-27 European Cohesion Policy Framework. Next slide, please. How they are organized? We have used indication about the recommendation type meaning for each recommendation. Recommendation type, the meaning that's according to strategy, action plan, funding, or platform. And then we have indicated the policy level that they refer to, that can be local, regional, or national. So according to this structure, we have 9 recommendations, which you can see here briefly. The first one, number 1, is open innovation platform. And number 2 refers to green and circular economy. Number 3 deals with green smart public building and smart lighting. Number 4 has to do with advancing digitalization processes. Number 5 deals with innovative green products and services. Number 6 has to do with green public procurement procedures. Number 7 for life cycle costing. Number 8 to develop capacities for green public procurement and life cycle costing procedures. And finally, we have the number 9, which is public procurement for innovation and pre-commercial procurement. All these recommendations are displayed in the green paper, but in order to make them more visible to local authorities, we have translated each of them in one slide. We have produced one slide per recommendation, which has been translated in Greek, Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, Bosnian, and French, and these are published in social media, so that we can better attract local authorities and to get knowledge of this recommendation more easily. So, how they are presented in the green paper. I will take here as an example the number 3, which is the inclusion of green smart public buildings and smart public lighting in national funding schemes, the regional operation programs, RIS, and local action plans. In this case, we have in all recommendations, but as an example you see here, we have this photo on the left, where it is presented the recommendation type of the recommendation. In this case, is funding. Then we have some tags that words that refers to this recommendation: green smart public buildings, open data, innovation, and then it is presented the policy level that this has to do with this. In this case, both three policy levels are engaged, while in other documentation we can have only one of them, example regional. Then it is illustrated the actors who are involved to apply and gain from this recommendation. In this case, we have national, regional, and local governments, enterprises, business associations, and researchers. Also, expected results by applying and implementing this recommendation are illustrated in per recommendation. In this case, the expected results are greener and smarter public buildings and lighting that are led by open data and innovative application. One important clue for presentation of the recommendation in the green paper is the connection with 21-27 cohesion policy framework. As you can see in the next slide, each recommendation of our project has been related to the policy objectives of the upcoming funding period. The new funding period has 5 policy objectives. Our project and our recommendations are connected with 2 of them. Policy objective 1, which is a smarter Europe, innovative and smart industrial transformation, and policy objective 2, which is a greener, low carbon Europe, clean and fair energy transition, green and blue investment, circular economy, climate adaptation, and risk prevention. So these are presented as an example. You can see here in these tables, we have the policy objectives, and also are presented some specific objectives. And in the next table, it's according to this, it presents which the recommendation that is connected with the specific objective described. So this indication, you can find more information and all our 9 recommendations in the green paper. It was not time enough to present you all of them here. So thank you for your attention. And this is the building, the main building of Region of Western Greece located in Patras. Actually, this is a photo that has been produced by our partner ESI during our project and was awarded in an Indirect Med event that was located in Athens last year. Thank you for your attention. I'm glad to follow you.
Thank you very much, Maria. And I see that Gino Verocchi is here, so I let you continue.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all. Good morning to all participants. Do you have my presentation?
Yes, it's live. You can comment the slides.
Where is the slide?
The slides are showing to all participants on the screen. You can start, and I pass the screen.
Okay. Before starting my presentation, let me express my thanks to the Abruzzo region team, Iris, Laura, Chiara, and Dario, all partners responsible, Tanasi, Gonzalo, Adriana, Cristina, Maria, Carmine, Luca, Eloise, and Hervé. Then Ludivine and Grigor from MED Joint Secretariat for the wonderful collaboration received during the realization of a complex and fascinating project such as Esmartcity. Please, first slide.
Okay.
Okay. Regional and local innovation policy should be founded by RDF Regional Operation Program. The regional operation programs are detailed plan in which the member states set out how money from the European structural and investment funds will be spent during the next programming period. A long process, it's need to draw them, but they are being drawn now from regions, countries, and managing authorities of Interreg project to address the European territorial cooperation goal. Next, please.
Okay.
9 innovation policy recommendation, as already showed by Maria, were developed during the Esmartcity project, valorizing the knowledge gained through the experience acquired during the testing phase of the project and its pilot intervention results. 5 of them could directly be used to ameliorate the implementation of possible potential 2021-2027 regional operation programs. actions. Next. They were addressed, okay. Smart City utilize the Smart City policy recommendation to give public, local, and regional stakeholder indication on which regional operation program action can be improved and how. In fact, we have 9 policy recommendations that address the European cohesion policy in terms of policy objective and specific objective and intervention field. Please. And starting from individuated intervention field per each policy recommendation, and using the country's investment guidance on cohesion policy funding that were released from European Commission per each country, per each member states, we individuated which investment priorities and regional operation program specific action should be addressed and ameliorate by during the implementation, ameliorated during their implementation from Smart City policy recommendation. Next, please. In the table that you are seeing are summarized the European Regional Development Fund regional operation programs action that can be strengthened by a Smart City policy recommendation per each member state participating in a Smart City. That means that for Greece, we individuate 4 policy recommendations that could ameliorate 11 regional operation program action. For Italy, 5 and 15. For France, 4 that could ameliorate 9 regional operation programs action. For Spain, 5 policy recommendations that could be addressed to ameliorate 15. For Portugal, 5 that could ameliorate 11. Next, please. Sorry. Thank you for the attention. Only for Greece, I translate my thanks. Thank you very much for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Gino. We now know everything about the Esmartcity project. And so the presentation, we have talked a lot about one key word, that is green growth. And it is time to develop this specific thematic, which is of particular importance in the period we are living in, and for the months and years to come, to support our territories to become more resilient. And dear Merce Boy-Roura, you are EU project manager at Beta Technical Center of the University of Vic, Spain. You are also InterregMed Green Growth Coordinator. Thank you for being here, and I'll let you the floor.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much to the Smart City team for the kind invitation to participate in this event. I will introduce what the green growth community is doing in the field of green economy in the Mediterranean and the resilient approaches that territories are adopting thanks to the Interreg projects. We understand as resilience the capacity of individuals, communities, businesses, and the system itself within a territory to survive, adapt, and grow despite the pressures that they might experience. These pressures could be climate change, food security, or as you already mentioned, the demographic pressure and urbanization. So resilient strategies are progressively being adopted globally and as well at the Mediterranean level. However, regional cooperation is still limited, and knowledge and actions on resilient solutions are still scarce, with many territories and communities lacking capacities for managing different types of problems. So the Interreg program, through its projects, is trying to face this problem using a resilient vision, as we can see on the right side of the slide, integrating these 4 pillars. On one side, research and development, to optimize the knowledge that is already existing or needs to be developed and to raise awareness. Technology, to increase the technical capacities of territories. Funding of different projects and initiatives to share these experiences among different territories and act collectively. And finally, to better link policy and decision makers with experts and practitioners by integrating these evidence-based policies and recommendations into different regulatory frameworks. Therefore, we need to improve this cooperation among regions, especially in the Mediterranean region in our case, to increase territorial resilience. And that is what we are trying to do through the green growth community in the field of green economy. So the Green Growth Community is part of the Interreg program, which is a territorial cooperation program in the Mediterranean region. And we try to promote sustainable development in the Mediterranean by enhancing cross-sectoral innovation practices through this integrated and territorial-based cooperation approach. Our community counts with 14 projects. So we gather all the projects in the thematic of green growth of the Interreg program. And a Smart City project is one of these 14 projects in our community, which includes about 165 partners from 13 different countries. The community started its main activities at the beginning of 2017 and will be running until the end, until June 2022. The Green Growth Community was labeled by the Union for the Mediterranean, which is an intergovernmental institution bringing together 43 member states from Europe and the Mediterranean region to promote dialogue and cooperation. And it acknowledged the community thanks to the support that we are providing to the transition to a green and circular economy in the Mediterranean region. What we do, our main tasks are to support the 14 projects of this community in terms of communication and capitalization of their results. So we develop several promotional material, and we also organize several events to create synergies among these projects and to identify other opportunities. We also now are putting our efforts in increasing the transferring and replication potential of the results of different projects in different territories, as well as promoting the recommendations that these projects are producing at policy level through different networks and institutions like Union for the Mediterranean. In the next slide, you can see an example of a communication material where Smart City was included. It was a catalog developed by Interreg, which integrates all the Interreg programs, addressing climate change. So this is one example, and I would like to thank especially Atanasio, Eloise, Gonzalo, Gino, and other colleagues that actively participated in the green growth activities, and also in supporting our work for the green growth community. So in the next slide, you can see the 5 thematic areas that we gathered the projects in our community. Even most of them will be located under the agri-food thematic area. Smart cities is also a relevant one. And in order to create synergies among projects of the different thematics, what we decided to do is to create 4 thematic working groups on circular economy due to the high relevance of this topic at the European level at the moment that we were creating these working groups. So we choose the 4 key priority areas of the circular economy action plan, which are resource efficiency, green and smart public services, waste prevention and management, and competitiveness and innovation. The projects of the community participated in one or more of these working groups to work together and identify common challenges in these topics and discuss about the solutions that the different projects were providing. In the case of a smart city, Atanasio, that was a representative of the project in the thematic working groups, among other colleagues, and contributed with their inputs into the first 2 thematic working groups. The results of these thematic working groups on circular economy are the co-creation of 4 main policy initiatives, namely white papers, policy and legal recommendations, and the Green Growth Book. You can download all these publications in the capitalization platform that we have. Here you can see the link, interregmedgreengrowth.eu. And I would like to present you briefly one of these white papers. As you know already, cities are critical for a sustainable development in the Mediterranean because they are engines of economic development, innovation and creativity as well. However, the progress towards a green and a low carbon and climate resilience Mediterranean cities is still limited and constrained by a number of challenges and barriers that still need to be addressed. So that's mainly the focus of this white paper, that it's promoting green and smart public services towards circular towns and cities in the Mediterranean region. And this paper integrates the contribution of 3 projects, being Smart City one of them. These 3 projects tested and put solutions into practice in 23 case studies located in 9 different Mediterranean regions, work together with 240 companies from 3 main sectors, which are public building, public lighting, and urban mobility. Here you can see a little bit the challenges that they address and the solutions provided. And I invite you to download these white papers. There are 5 of them, and there's also fact sheets summarizing the main key points. And you can find them both in the program website, in the project website of the InterregMed, and also in this capitalization platform that we designed. You can also download there the policy recommendations and the other documents that I mentioned. Finally, what we are currently doing at the InterregMed Green Growth community is focusing our efforts in the transferring and capitalization phases. Since at the beginning, we focus more on community building and creating this sense of belonging to a community for a green growth in the Mediterranean. So in the next months, we will reinforce this collaboration across value chains for a more innovative and environmental friendly business sector by organizing different trainings and business forums. And I take the advantage to let you know that this year, finally, the business forum will take place online in November. So it's another chance to meet you all and to exchange as well with other partners from other projects. We will also facilitate the creation of action plans so we can transfer concrete results into policy frameworks by creating different policy papers and also participating in different working groups of institutions such as Union for the Mediterranean, for instance, and other networks. And finally, we are also trying to achieve a maximal geographical coverage of different territories, including this time some territories of the southern shore of the Mediterranean. And for doing so, we collaborate with other initiatives such as SwitchMed West or the Next Society that are also promoting a green and innovative economy in the Mediterranean as a whole. So if you are interested in getting to know more about the Green Growth community, I invite you to visit this capitalization platform or to subscribe to our newsletter, and also following our social networks where you can see all the updates of our activities. I also provide your email at the next slide, at the bottom of this slide, so you can write me any questions and I can help together with the partners of the Green Growth community to address your questions. So thank you very much and have a nice conference and a nice day.
Thank you very much. I apologize for the delay. We have a little delay, but last but not least, we are very happy that the InterrEdMed program has accepted to be there and to speak to our event. And I let the floor right away to Mrs. Ludivine One, our can you please turn on your camera and your microphone, and the stage is yours.
Okay, fine. Okay, you hear me well? It's okay?
Very well, thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thanks to all. So first of all, I want to thank the full Esmartcity partnership for their invitation and the great commitment in project implementation and the successful project closure, despite the complex international context we all know from last month ago. Esmartcity is a project facing with one of our main challenges in the Med area, which is the smarter use of energy and encourage the concrete involvement of main stakeholders, which are one of the conditions for a greener economy, one of our aims for the future. So just a small presentation about the InterrEdMed program for the ones who didn't know it already. So the program includes 57 regions from 10 EU countries and 3 IPA countries candidate for integrating the European Union, which are Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Montenegro. The total budget of the program is about 276 million for 2040-2020 period, and the majority of the program is funded by ERDF fund. For the current programming period, we have both public and private actors participating to the program. Among private, we have mainly SMEs. And the concurrency rate for the current period is between 50 and 85% of the total budget awarded to project. Okay. So if you are a Med partner or a usual public of Med, you know very well this slide. This is about the current program organization. So we are an organization which is made between modular project, which has a small circle on the right of the page, horizontal project presented by Mercedes a few minutes ago, and project governance, which are mainly addressed to regional and national actors. So for Esmartcity is member of the Green Growth community that has been presented just now,
which represents 35 million euros out of the 76 dedicated to Axis 1. The Axis 1 is focused on innovation in the MED program. So for the program, the current program, we started from convincing about the need to capitalize and to work together. This task started already in 2007, 2030, and this has been made more concrete in the current period. And it has been presented, we are for 2040-2020 more focused on the working on communities to tackle common challenges and achieve concrete capitalization and transfer activity toward main deciders. For 2040, we have a structured multi-level dialogue with our MED community and beyond. And the main objective of the project is improving the program impact on MED territories for now and for the future. So here you have a short summary of the program situation. So we had in total 8 calls for proposal made between 2050 and 2020. We have approved for the moment 160 projects. The first started at the end of 2060, and the last one has been approved during the autumns. And the horizontal project has been renewed in last November also. On the 160 projects, about 50 are still in progress, and a large half of them will end by 2022. And we can see that there is an effervescence effect in the program, which started in 2060, and when the first project are finalizing, we have now projects that are still being assessed. So 2 strategic projects are being currently assessed. The strategic project enter under the governance axis you can see here in blue in the slide. Okay. So let's say that complementarity and dialogue are keywords of the 2040-2020 period for the Interreg program. Through that program, we wanted to install a dialogue first between actors, but mainly between the different type of projects which were approved. So the idea was to create a constant link between the different level of our architecture, which is typical, let's say, of the MED program, and it's functioning. So we are happy to have project and communities as the Green Growth One and project as Esmartcity, which are participating to our program. And perspective for the future programming period are already there. So thank you. So for 2021-2027, the program is going on. So the program launching process, how it works. There is a new regulatory framework for each programming period. So the one for the starting 21-27 period is being prepared by the Commission. It is not yet validated by the trilogue, so European Commission, European Parliament and Council, and we expect it by the end of the year, 2020. 2 draft versions were already available, but in those 2 versions, there is no geography fixed yet, so we don't know exactly which will be the perimeter of the future program. No budget and modalities of intervention, so the co-financing rate are not stabilized yet neither. For the moment, the only thing we are sure about is that the current perimeter will remain. So maybe we will get new countries participating to the MED program in the future period. But at least for the current geography, it will be maintained. Then also for the budget, we are making estimation based on the current budget we have for 2040-2020, and we hope that it will not be reduced for the future. In the regulation, the European Commission also indicates policy objective, specific objective, field of intervention. And based on that, from May, program authorities are working on thematic of the future program and priorities, and to reinforce also the program architecture. In that sense, a task force has been implemented, has been settled, and it is composed of representatives from the ministries for all participating countries to the space. We hope that 2021-27 program will be able to start functioning really from the second semester 2021. But for the moment, we don't have the main keys in our hand. So I cannot give you any concrete definition of the coming operational program, but you can find here the main concepts which are already on the table and being discussed by our member states. What we are sure about is that the EU general context for MED foresee action organized around the Green Deal, so circular economy action plan, the thematic of climate, environment, citizens, and let's say that the blue character are the one that will be, let's say, the philosophy of the coming program. And what you find in this page are the main actions that are being mentioned by member states currently in our discussion. So you can find competitive innovation ecosystem, circular economy sector, adaptation and resilience, which will be our main challenge for the future, prevention of environmental risk, energy savings, etc. So the orientation for the MED area that has been given by the European Commission are 5 policy objectives that have been proposed and 2 Interreg specific objectives. Among the 5 policy objectives proposed for the moment, member states are speaking about policy objective 1, a smarter Europe, and policy objective 2. POs still remain to be confirmed, but what we are quite sure about is that we are going to have innovation and 4LX concept, and also Green Europe. And those 2 policy objectives will apply to modular projects. So let's say classical project you will be able to apply to. So to make it simple, PO1 is innovation, and it remains a key entry for our program and transnational cooperation. And PO2 is about climate and environment. Inside those 2 policy objectives, there are many specific objectives, and not all can be tackled. So member states are speaking about those topics to be merged. So as soon as defined, we will be able to develop missions and type of action to be tackled by project. And in that sense, we will be able to develop the program, the future operational program. Concerning the coming program architecture, we remain with 3 levels of action and 3 modalities of cooperation. So starting from territorial governance, it will be about modular project. So tackling with local and territorial challenges. Then the project governance that will be organized through horizontal project, or let's say horizontal for the moment, but it will be something similar to what has been presented by Mercy before. And then the program governance, and those are actions to be developed by member states and to work with other programs and program overlapping their space with our med area. So finally, the natural, the capitalization and transfer activities are the main keywords that will remain for the next programming period, and it's the natural evolution. Since after 2 programming periods, things seems to function really, and we hope that it will be a new possibility for our main beneficiaries to find the new opportunities in this coming framework. So, well, let's say that things are under construction, but we will try to give you more information as soon as stabilized, and hope to see you from 2021 onward. Thanks to all.
Thank you very much, Ludivine. You're just teasing us to interest us and to focus on the InterregMed program, and the programmation will continue in the autumn season, I think. Okay, so thank you all. Thank you to all our morning speakers. I will invite you to turn on your camera. We would like to make a family picture with all participants, and then I will let you go. You can do not forget to join the afternoon session at 2 p.m. Please turn on your camera. Come in the family photo. We are all med actors and maybe future partners. Thank you all for joining today. Okay, I don't know, Athanasius, can you take the picture?
Sure, of course. It's taken.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much and goodbye. Have a nice lunch and we talk to you soon.
Thank you very much.
Listen to.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.